Hello fellow traders. Sunday. I'm going to lay down some stuff here for you. Give us all something to think about. I pulled up some long-term charts. I want to start off by going over what's going on here as far as, you know, how they say every 75 years we have a major recession, depression, and we're sitting right on that threshold right now. And it's kind of ironic how we've made almost the same run as back in the, 1915s to 1929 as we did from 1985 to 2007. And we're sitting right on the threshold. Just a little something else to think about. I'm just laying out what I've been thinking about here. So let me grab the camera light and go over a couple things. Right here is the Dow, and here's 85, right around like 1400 is where the Dow was sitting, and we came up and battled 2000 and then made our run. That stock talk back in March, this is what I went off of right here on all those bottoms there through the 80s, and it pointed right to where we were at that 6600. Okay, if you also come off of this top here and this top there, the last two peaks, we kind of had like a double nut support right there. Okay, if you remember back when this first started, Kramer was calling a 5800 bottom, and that's about 5800, and what that is I'm going to let that peak show right there. That's the 87 peak before the crash, okay, right there. And then the last two bumps before our major climb to our 2000 high puts us right to 5800. See, I can already see him calling himself a genius, and he'll be playing that back because that was when the Dow was at like 12,000. He called a 5800 bottom on this crash, and this is our line for that. Okay, basically from 85 to this 14,000 high, 1400 to 14,000 was like a 900% run. Okay, I'm gonna roll over here right now. This is the Dow back at the peak of 29 right here. Okay, this ran from 4 to 40 and then crashed back to 4. Okay, and then this is in like the 1800s, it was at like 3, 4, the Dow, and it went to 40, then crashed back to 4. See how you have to find a chart to show before this 1928 area right here. And then we started making our run back up to I guess the World War I ended in the late teens, 1919 or whatever. And then we went from 40 to 400, okay, which is a 900% run, okay? And then we crashed all the way back to 40 before the market finally bottomed right here, okay? Which I went over this before, but I never quite did the math from our 85 breakout, because that is an 85 breakout right there. Okay, because if you go off of these tops coming up, it was an 85. See that green right there breaking up through. So I'm going from like 85, the 1400 level, to 14,000, 900%, same thing. Okay, Here's our crash right here, 50% run. Just about kind of where we're at on the S&P. Like I said, the Dow's been replaced by 2 major stocks, so we're probably not going to get the full peak on the Dow. Do I think the Dow could slide all the way to 1400? That would be equivalent to this fall right here. You know, this new news that the banks, man, like their reserves are down. They're betting on a backdoor straight flush to be dealt to them. You know, they're all in without the cards right now, and they're going low on their reserves to show profits a little heavier, see? Because they're banking on a fat V-shaped recovery. I don't know. You know, interest rates are already bottomed. What I do think could happen, though, is a 4,000. Like if this 5,800 here doesn't hold right there, then we can possibly be looking at 4,000. 1,400 is pretty extreme. I mean, I don't think we're going to have bread lines. You know, you can argue it's a new age and we got internet and technology and all this communications, you know, pushing the economy. But back then, like I said, we had all the toasters and, you know, everything for the home, things that, you know, it's kind of the same deal. And, you know, I mean, the automobiles were like really hitting the scene, you know, a lot more efficient, faster, more people owning them. And through the, you know, 1929 into 30s, and, you know, I think things are a little worse off as far as the problems with the banks now than back then, and that was a heavy hit. You know, 1,400 would be equivalent to our 75-year correction in the market. Put us back to 1985 on the Dow. And like I said, man, like these banks, you know, if you play poker, that's a pretty long shot, you know, straight flush, backdoor to boot, which means all in, don't have the cards yet, and it's a tough card to get. Good luck.